Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carolina, and I'm here to go through the Costa Rica itinerary with you, just so you kind of get to understand all the logistics, how everything works, what's included, and of course, how we can tweak the trip to make sure it is your trip and no one else's. So let's go through the itinerary. I'm going to share my screen. And you'll see the PDF that I have already sent you as well, so you can follow along. But let's go through get together. So the trip is based on your dates of May 20th, and I think coming back on the 29th. And we have established that you're going to arrive pretty late in the evening, which means you're going to stay in San Jose for the night when you arrive, because we don't recommend transfers or driving after dark in Costa Rica. The roads are just not safe. It's very dark. Sometimes there's a sheep in the road. And so we like to do all of our long haul transfers during the day. And on the way back, your flight home is quite early in the morning. So again, we're going to get you back to San Jose before your flight and spend the night. And that way you can prepare and be ready for that flight home. So when you arrive, we're going to pick you up, big sign with your name on it, and a private car with an English speaking guide that will take you to your hotel. I chose Buena Vista Hotel, and two rooms are included, which means two rooms are included at all the hotels that we will discuss. Buena Vista feels like it's not in the city, but it's just right outside of San Jose. I'm a city girl, but San Jose is one of the least beautiful cities in Central America. Sorry, Costa Rica, but it's true. So I like to get my guests out of San Jose as quickly as possible so that you can be submerged in nature, and Buena Vista offers that. So you rest there, you have breakfast, and then we're ready to head to Arenal, which is our first destination where we will spend 2 nights. So from San Jose to Arenal, it is about 2 to 3 hours, but we won't be in the car for 2 to 3 hours. We're going to be getting out of the car multiple times. We're going to visit three sites. We're going to visit La Paz Waterfalls, which is a major park, beautiful trails, of course, the waterfalls, but it also works as a sanctuary. So they have animals that have been injured or orphaned, and they bring them back to health. They have hummingbirds, which you can feed. So they have a lot of activity here in the La Paz Waterfalls Park. So we're going to stop there. We're actually going to have lunch here as well. And then we're also going to visit Poás volcano, which is an active crater, which is exciting. It's a nice walk, very easy walk, not a long hike to get to it. Then you put hard hats on, and you cannot stay here, I think, more than 10 minutes because there's always things happening in the crater. And the last step we will do is Sarchi, which is a very famous little tiny town that is known for the artists that live here and decorate and create all of those things that you associate with Costa Rica, like these wheels, which you will find throughout your trip. So it breaks up the trip. You get a little bit of culture, you get a little bit of nature before we arrive to Arenal. And once you're in Arenal, Arenal is known for the volcano, which is an active volcano, very exciting. All of the activities kind of go around the volcano. There is a proper little village, which is a really nice place to explore, very safe, very welcoming. And there's hotels scattered throughout. Most hotels will have a view of the volcano. I chose Arenal Manoa for two reasons. One, because it does have that beautiful view. It's very accessible to town, no more than a 10-minute ride. And it also has its own hot springs, which is huge because even though we will visit some larger hot springs, it's really nice that here in the hotel itself, the pools are filled with thermal waters. The last reason why I chose it is because they have Chateau suites. So I included two different rooms for you here. One is a junior suite, which looks like this, has two beds, has a beautiful green garden, and the other one is a Chateau suite nearby. You can walk to it, or they do golf cart rides between the rooms. And that one has a private pool, a private area where you can really enjoy. And I thought that would be really nice for your family to have access to a private pool on top of the public pools, on top of the thermal pools. A really great place. I was just there with my kids last spring break. And moving on. So under each date, you will see the location that you are, and then like letters that stand for B for breakfast, L for lunch, and D for dinner. That just means those meals are included. So keep that in mind. If it's listed there, it's included. If it's not listed, then we have plenty of recommendations for you. Private guides will help you out choosing a nice spot for your family to enjoy, but they're not included. And of course, if you want all meals included, just let me know. Or if you want less things included, let me know as well. This is your trip. So on May 22nd, we have a full day in Arenal, and we're really going to tackle all the highlights. Arenal is known for zip lining, so we're going to zip line here. We're going to do the aerial tram that takes us to the canopy. These are the fastest and longest zip lines in Costa Rica. They were very, very exciting when I first did them. And also, we will hike the Arenal Trail around the volcano, and we will end with the hot springs. And these are proper hot springs that have an entry fee, and you have dinner there, and it's a really nice experience. Not like the hotel where it's very small, like it's a regular pool. Here it feels a lot more natural. And so just touching on the tours, how are they operating? All of the tours on your itinerary are private. So you will have a private transportation to and from. And then once you're in the ziplining park, obviously there will be other people ziplining, and the guides from the zipline park will take it. So I kind of call it semi-private because it's half and half. If there is a budget issue and we need to think about, well, where can we change things? We can change some of those activities and remove that private car and use the park's shared bus that comes to the hotel, picks you up, takes you to the park, does the zip lining as you would, and then takes you back. So let me know your thoughts about how comfortable you are doing everything privately, or if you would like to make any changes. There are lots and lots of options. And then on our last morning in Arenal, I thought it would be very special for you to experience our sloth quest. This is one of my favorite things to do in Arenal. Arenal is home to so many sloth families, and I say families because they have specific trees that they live on pretty much their whole life. So you can visit them. The guides know them literally personally. They have names for them. They know who had babies, who is together, and it's so fun. They have amazing scopes and binoculars for you to enjoy. You're in a 4x4, kind of exploring, going around the park. Some treats arranged for you at the end. Really wonderful natural experience. It is not a zoo. You're out in the park. You're out on trails. And you never know what you're going to find, but sloths are definitely something you will see. So we will do that in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we're going to pack it up and we're going to move on to Monteverde. So traveling from Arenal to Monteverde, it takes about 3 hours, and there's a lake in between the two parks. So it actually goes car to the lake, then you go by a ferry across the lake, and you will have assistance with your bags and things. And then on the other side of the lake, a car will be waiting for you, again, our team, to take you all the way to Monteverde. This is privately done by our drivers. You will see many people getting on and off buses, and it's quite chaotic here. So we want to take all of that stress away from you and take care of it for you. Once we arrive to Monteverde, like I explained a little bit in the email, Monteverde is more of a cloud forest. It has a lot of the lodges are deep in the forest, and you do everything with the lodges. And there is a small, small little town, and there's a few hotels near this little town. So we chose a hotel that's family friendly, that is in the town. So it's poco a poco. When I say it's in town, it doesn't mean that you're on a busy highway or anything like that. You will still have massive gardens, beautiful trails, lots of things to explore on the property of the hotel itself. It backs up to Curi Cancha Reserve. So we will do a night private hike to Curi Cancha, where you will see lots of frogs and snakes and spiders and maybe some mammals as well, or maybe see some sleeping sloths and monkeys. But it's a great way to start a cloud forest tour. So cloud forest, it means that most likely it will rain here every day. And usually the rains happen in the afternoon. So that's why we like to do things in the morning or, those night hikes. But even if a night hike experiences some rain, it's quite exciting and we can get some plastic ponchos. So we're going to spend 2 nights here, start with the Curi Cancha night tour, and then really do a proper private tour of Monteverde National Park, which is known for birds, which is home to the quetzal, which is one of my favorite birds in Latin America. So I hope you see it. It's quite wonderful when you spot it. It's very unique. And of course, so many other wildlife here. And there are different ways to do this tour. You can do it completely on the ground on trails with a private guide, or we can do hanging bridges or a combination of both. So we can speak about that as well. Again, we can do this privately. We can do this shared. All of the tours that are listed here can be done in small groups if you want to think about budgets. And then May 25th, we're going to leave Monteverde behind. We're going to leave the rain behind and leave the cloud forest behind and drive with our private driver to the coast, to the village of Manuel Antonio. This is between 3 and a 4 hour drive, but it's beautiful. You go from the forest and mountains to banana plantations and wide open spaces and beautiful coastal views. So it's a pretty beautiful ride. And of course, we can stop en route, stop for a coffee or stop for lunch, and then arrive to the village of Manuel Antonio. So Manuel Antonio is very unique. It has a village and a proper beach, but the hotels are not in the village. They're out on the cliffs, allowing you to have these stunning views of the ocean, of the little islands, of the jungle. This is where jungle spills into the sea for sure. So you will see iguanas and monkeys and sloths and so much wildlife. So it's a really unique position of the hotel. And I put this photo on here for you so you could see. You can take a trail down to the tiny beach that is by the hotel. And of course, the main beach is just a 10-minute ride away as well, which we will visit. Great hotel, very family friendly. This is another position of the hotel. So the little beach that I was discussing is there's one behind here, one here, and then Manuel Antonio is this whole strip here. So the first day that you arrive, I suggest enjoy the hotel, enjoy the views, go out for dinner. There's a great restaurant called the Airplane, which is literally a plane that has crashed and they made it into a restaurant. It's on the cliffs, great sunset spot. I send everybody there. And then on May 26th, we're going to go to the national park, which is the most beautiful park in Costa Rica, Manuel Antonio. Why? Because the sand is white here, and that's very unusual. Pretty much every other beach in Costa Rica is black sand because of the volcanic activity, but in Manuel Antonio, it is paradise. It is so beautiful. So you will have a hike through the forest, then it spits you out into these cove beaches. You can go swimming, see the wildlife. I mean, we would hang out here and monkeys will come and try to go into our bags. I mean, they're in abundance here. So it's a really, really great private tour. I don't suggest doing this in a group for sure. I included private, like I mentioned, and you will see plenty of wildlife here. I know you love nature, so this is the best part. And then on our last day in Manuel Antonio, I did a tour by boat. So in the morning during this green season, you definitely want to go out on the water in the mornings because that's the best weather. So we have a private catamaran tour that's done for you here. So you can go snorkeling, have a beautiful lunch on board, go to the little islands, lots to explore, plenty of dolphins and other marine wildlife here. And this is a place where if you want to switch, there's a shared boat that goes off with probably 25 people or so. So if you don't want to, if you don't care to have a private boat, we can switch to a shared one. And afterwards, we'll come back to the hotel, pick up our luggage that is all packed up and ready to go to San Jose, back to San Jose, which is a 3 to 4 hour drive. I put 4 hours here just so you know, because you can stop and have some snacks or something on the way. But the highway is new between Manuel Antonio and San Jose, and it really helps because there's parts of Costa Rica that is completely filled with potholes. But anyway, we'll bring you to San Jose in the afternoon. We'll check you into a hotel that's really close to the airport so you could be ready in the morning to take your early morning flight home. I chose the Holiday Inn, but there's a number of hotels. And then on May 28th, we'll take you to the airport and you'll fly on your morning flight home. So that is your trip. I am going to stop sharing. I look forward to your thoughts and questions and see if you want to make any changes to the trip. Let me know and happy travels. Thanks for listening.